Hello everybody, in this video I want to talk a little bit about an aspect of mindset and a phrase I use in the dojo to make sure that we maintain that correct mindset in practice. It's a slightly flippant phrase, but it seems to get the point across, and I've used it a few times recently at seminars and it's gone over really well, so I thought I need to make a video on this to reach a wider audience, not just those in my dojo and those I see at seminars, in the hope that you find it useful too in your own training and teaching. So before I get into the phrase itself, I'd just like to remind you a little bit about my hierarchy of correction. So when I'm watching students do drills, there's always something that can be improved. None of us are perfect. We've all got elements we can be better on. So when I'm watching all the things that I could mention to the student, I go, well, which is the one that will improve performance the most? And that's what I'm going to focus on first. Now, typically, it'll follow this order. So I'll look at mindset, and then I'll look at strategies, then I'll look at tactics, and then I'll look at technique. And then obviously there's hierarchy within that too. If I'm looking at a particular technique, what element of that technique will lead to the greatest improvement in performance? But as an overarching one, I see mindset as more important than strategy, strategy is more important than tactics, and tactics being more important than technique. You need all of them. Obviously, all of them are required. But that's the hierarchy in which I'm going to correct them in order to see the biggest improvement in performance. So mindset is the most important thing. The right mindset will improve your performance more than anything else, just as the wrong mindset will degrade your performance more than anything else. And I think we all know this through personal experience as well. You will have experiences where you just couldn't get your mind in right, and as a result, your performance was terrible. And the thing with mindset is it can disappear like that as well. Skills take time to deteriorate. Physical fitness, again, takes time to deteriorate. Your mindset can vanish in a heartbeat, and that can really negatively affect your performance. So in my dojo, we've got a whole host of different types of drills we do, each designed to develop specific attributes and abilities. We have lots of different types of live sparring designed to develop specific attributes for both dueling, fighting each other, and for self-defense purposes. And when I'm watching students do these, one of the things that you'll sometimes see is if a student is not successful in achieving their objective, or their partner manages to achieve theirs, they were unsuccessful in stopping the partner achieving their goal, you'll see these moments of despair. Right? So you'll see the little facial expressions or the guttural noises, which that kind of thing. The opponent manages to land a few shots or escape them or submit them or whatever it is, and you see that. As soon as I see that always gets corrected. And the phrase I use for correcting that is, don't practice despair. It's not something you want to be good at. Right? Because if they get into that habit of doing it over and over in training, that's allowing that self-doubt and that despair to come in, that's what will happen in more serious situations too. Something will go against them, and that despair, just as they practice in the dojo, will then surface. So what I like the students to do, if they're doing a particular drill and they're not successful in that drill, they keep the mindset flat, neutral. So, okay, I lost, let's go again. It's just like, go again. Never that, oh, no, it's just, okay, let's go again. And then again, that would mean that they're maintaining that mindset all the time. Massively, massively important. And again, as soon as I see it, it's something I'll always correct. First and foremost, as soon as I see it, the slightest little bit, I'm in there because it's a very big and important thing. Not just combatively either. I think we often talk about, these two streams of karate nowadays, the jitsu and the do. There's historical problems about labeling things like that, but nowadays we could say that most people regard the do, karate do, as being the character development, the physical fitness side of things, and then the jitsu is its combative utility. Now, for me, I don't see a big divide between those two, because to have decent combative skills, you need a degree of physical fitness, right? Then you definitely need a strong mind too. And I also think that realistic combative training is stressful. It always needs to be done gradually. It needs to be done in a way that's appropriate for the student. But you've always got them just outside the comfort zone. And with that, it's a chance for them to analyze their own characters. Am I getting frustrated? Am I getting despondent? And to work on those elements so that in everyday life, hopefully, again, they'll apply that same positive attitude to everything else they do in life. Never quite sure when people label, just doing the katas nicely as karate do. I think, well, how does doing a pretty kata make you grow as a person? I don't see how it can. But I can see how willingly stepping into discomfort, to marinate in it, to learn about yourself, which is often what we have in training, and then seeking that knowledge that taking that knowledge that you've learned about yourself, seeking to make improvements based on it. I can see that mechanism. I can see how that works. So in life too, we don't want to get to the point where our instinct is immediate despair every time something goes against us. Like in the dojo, you just went, okay, let's go again. So in real life, hopefully that habit spills over. So when bad things happen, you go, okay, let's go again. And that's not to say you'll always do that, because we're all human. None of us are infallible. None of us are invincible. We all have days where we want to shout at the sky and give up. It's just the way that it is. Days where we want to crawl into bed and never get out again. It's all part of the human experience. But when you're lying there under the duvet, wishing the world would go away, what you'd hope would happen is something from your training sneaks in. Think, no, I'm practicing despair. This isn't something I want to be good at. So, okay. I accepted things as they are, but let's go again. So I do think it's very important in training, teaching, and life in general. Try not to practice despair. It's not something you want to be good at.